Hardeep Puri ji, Namaste, Jai Hind, and tonight I will say Sat Sri Akal, sir. Thank you very, very much. On short notice, you have given us time. This is Anand here. How would you want to respond to Mr Rahul Gandhi and his comments that Sikhs in Bharat have to worry about wearing a turban, a kada, carry a kirpan, follow the 5 Ks or the principles, foundations of Sikhi, sir?
Well, Anand, first and foremost, the young leader who now also happens to be the leader of opposition needs to be asked where he is getting these ideas from. I mean, this is just picking it out from somewhere. I have not come across a single case within India or outside where a member of my community has told me that he or she follows or has any difficulty in following the basic tenets of Sikhism, which means either going to a Gurudwara Sahib or wearing a turban or wearing a kada. I've never come across a single case. So here is this man on foreign soil and as leader of opposition, he just goes and makes this outlandish statement. So all I would turn around and say is that some context setting needs to be done by this so-called young leader.
Ji, carry on, sir. I can hear you.
No, there is a sound distortion here which needs to be checked first.
No, sir, we can hear you loud and clear, sir. We can hear you loud and clear. You're perfectly audible. You're live on the channel and we can hear you loud and clear. The other aspect is, why would he single out Sikhs and Sikhi and make this comment? He did this at Cambridge last year. He's doing it in Washington in the US.
Well, Anand, let me just say one thing. That since this issue has resonated widely, that is Mr Gandhi's remarks on the Sikh community, saying questions are asked whether they will be able to follow the tenets, whether they'll be able to go to a Gurudwara or whether they will be able to wear a kada, I have not had a single attempt at even an explanation. Forget about a satisfactory explanation. No one has come up with anything. I mean, here is this gentleman, he sees an audience which has some members of the Sikh community and shoots off a statement. Now, the reaction to that has been strong. It is on explicable lines, and we have a situation in which he has added to the long list of not slightly silly, but these are dangerous statements. If you pick on a community which is known for its hard work, its sincerity, its contribution to the nation's agricultural economy, to the defense forces, to people who believe in Samaj Seva, Langar Seva, and who are anchored in the tradition of sacrifice, Kurbani, and you make a statement like this that they are finding it difficult, which Sikh is he looking at? Has he come across someone who maybe is mistaken for a Sikh or something? In fact, the other way around. I think the only instance in our post-1947 history has been a case where 3,000 members of the Sikh community were killed in cold blood in 1984 when his father was the Prime Minister. And he made this outlandish statement, when a big tree falls, so, the earth shakes. And then in his grandmother's time, this is another association with the Sikh religion. I mean, the armed forces the military army was sent into the Golden Temple. I have not heard any meaningful apology or regret for those actions. In fact, they made a former Prime Minister who happened to be a Sikh to say something like, there's a regret, a very feeble one. So I think the leader of opposition, I don't think he has made this statement in his capacity as leader of opposition, but he happens to be leader of opposition. He's made a statement which is irresponsible, which deserves to be condemned in the strongest possible term, and an explanation is required at the very least as to why he makes an assertion of this kind.
Sir, I know time is of essence. My final question to you. You're also a career diplomat along with being an astute politician and a minister in the union government. He's done this in the US, whose citizen is a wanted terrorist for us. who's running a secessionist agenda against Bharat. Would you want to read perhaps deeper, further meaning in what Mr. Rahul Gandhi has done today?
You know, I can tell you that I would be inclined at the best of times not to make an intellectual hop, step and jump and move from what he has said to what you are saying. That, you know, there is a wanted person who espouses a separatist cause and who doesn't wear a turban. I would not want to make that, but those inferences are going to be drawn because the kind of language he uses is the kind of language that particular gentleman is often inclined to use. So, yes, that inference will be drawn. Whether that's a correct inference, I don't know, but the only explanation can come from Mr. Gandhi himself as to why he made this statement. And let me also say, he is on US soil. There is a history of these things here. I mean, it's in close proximity to another country where this cause has been espoused by I would say, a fringe elements. And I call them lunatic fringe. I mean, I don't think the Sikhs have had it as good in today Modi ji's India as ever. Today I can tell you all the demands of the Sikhs, whether they are agriculture based in the MSP pricing as farmers or greater representation for them. The Sikhs are proud members of the armed forces. They have risen to the highest position in the judiciary, in all other walks of life. So you have a situation like this, and I think for him to let loose a diatribe against the RSS, I mean the RSS came to our rescue when we were being brutally targeted during that violence, the pogrom in 1984. And then when the Golden Temple was attacked, I mean, so he at random picks up people. He says a particular large economy has no unemployment. He goes on saying things about, one organization thinks one religion is inferior. Where is he getting all this from? I mean, I don't want to get into, some of the other statements he made. We will end reservation. I don't want to get into that. He even said that. But, I think, whenever he speaks next, he should be calm, he should think through, he should weigh each word he uses and also look at the consequences, intended and unintended, which are likely to follow.
Hardeep Puri ji, thank you very, very much. Another thing that we love about Sikhs, then they make a commitment, they honor it, no matter what and how much you are pressed for time. I really, really appreciate you making the time to speak with us this evening. Thank you, sir. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Anandji. Thank you. Pleasure talking to you.
On that note, we're going to call it a wrap here on this edition of The Right Stand. Zaka Jacob with Brass Tacks up next.